Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Bosher, and today I want to show you guys how to make a dirty, steezy, comb-filtered bass using the Thor synthesizer in Reason. The track that you guys just heard was something I just made for this tutorial specifically, and I want to show you guys how to make that sound from scratch. Real quick, this isn't necessarily the right or wrong way to make this type of comb-filtered sound, but it does afford a lot of opportunities to customize it and mangle it and make it your own. So I definitely encourage you guys to do that after you create this synthesizer. But let's get started. I have a new project opened already, and for the sake of time I did just copy and paste the notes from that project over to here. And in my rack I do have a combinator created. So in your rack, in your new project, just right click and create a combinator. And then in the combinator, make sure to create a line mixer. We're going to be essentially stacking two Thors on top of each other, but it's not necessary. It's just when I want to show you guys what to do to get that fat undertone. In the combinator, right click and create your first instance of Thor. Click and show the programmer, and make sure to right click and reset the device or initialize patch depending on what version of Reason you're using. In the polyphony section, make sure to set the release polyphony to 8. Since this is a comb-filtered signal, it's a stereo signal, it's very wide, and we can chord this and make it very big. We're also going to make the release on the amp envelope a little longer so it has a little bit of a tail. That's why we want the release polyphony the same as the regular polyphony. In the first oscillator section here, make sure to set this to a wavetable oscillator. In the table select section, set it to mixed waves 1. Set the octave to 3, and then set the position to about 57. Again, not the right or wrong way to do it, but this is a good way to get started. In the second oscillator section, make sure to do another wavetable oscillator and also activate all 3 oscillators to filter 1 so that they're all going through. Again, in the second oscillator here, set the octave to 1 and set the table select to mixed waves 2. Set the position to 109, and again you can hold shift while you do this to hone in on specific numbers. And then activate the third oscillator with a FM pair this time. Set the octave to 3, set the carrier to 6, and set the mod to 10. Set the frequency modulation amount, the FM knob here, to 32. And then in the mixer section here, decrease the gain of the third oscillator to about minus 7.9 decibels. Perfect. Now let's change the first filter from a low pass to a comb filter. Set the frequency to about 39.4, essentially all the way down, and then set the resonance to 109. What I'm going to do is provide a link explaining what exactly a comb filter is and what it does, but essentially it creates a tone and then it creates another tone slightly delayed after that, and they'll start phasing each other out, creating like a flanger effect. But increasing the resonance essentially makes the waveforms, transients louder and higher, which can really give some interesting results. So back in the first comb filter here, make sure to set the polarity to negative and take down all the knobs in the filter envelope, velocity, and keyboard tracking section here. We're not going to even use the filter envelope for this, so you can just deactivate the gate triggering for the filter envelope. Now go to the second filter here and make sure to click the shaper to filter and filter 2 to amplifier. That way it'll go to the second filter and then to the amplifier. We won't use the shaper, but it needs to do this to go through. And then also make sure to set this one to a comb filter. Set the comb filter's frequency to 87.2 Hertz. And then set the resonance to about 100. And again, take down all of the knobs all the way to the left for the filter envelope section and everything else. If we listen to it now, it's going to be kind of loud, so I would suggest turning it down in the master volume here in the line mixer. But let's take a listen and see what we hear. So it's not really what we're trying to get right now, but it does have an interesting tone, so let's just keep going. Also make sure to set the second comb filter to negative polarity as well. That way you'll basically be stacking both comb filters in a negative polarity, and it'll create a really cool effect. The next thing is go to the third filter section here, create a low pass filter. Set the filter frequency all the way to 21.6 kilohertz, and then make sure to leave the resonance at 0. Make sure to take down all of the amount of the filter 3 global envelope amount as well as the velocity. This is more or less a master low pass filter, so you can use it to introduce the sound or take it out however you like. And set the gain here to about 50, the drive I should say, since again what we're going to do, it's going to be kind of loud, which affords you the opportunity to actually open up the master volume again. So you can put that back at 100 since you're taking down the drive of the third master filter here. Okay, now let's go to the mod envelope section here. Make sure the gate trigger is on as well as the tempo sync. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the attack to about 1/8, and then the decay to about 1/8 as well, and then the release to about 1/8 triplet. This is all completely up to preference. I just want to show you guys how to make a specific comb filtered sound. In the amp envelope section, set the attack to about 5.3 milliseconds so it doesn't click when you trigger the note, and then set the release to about 256 milliseconds so it has a bit of a tail. Set the decay and sustain all the way up so no volume is lost over time. And let's just take another listen. We didn't really do much, so nothing's really going to happen, but let's take a listen real quick. As you can hear, it is starting to change subtly, which is exactly what we're looking for. The next thing we want to do is go to the mod matrix. In the first source here, go to here and click filter 1. Set the amount to about 75 and set the destination to oscillator 1's position. So the filter will start modulating the position of these wavetables. And the wavetable essentially has a multitude of different waves in it, and the X-fade allows you to transition in between those waves seamlessly. If you turned off the X-fade, you'd literally just hear one wave after another when you moved the position knob here. In the second source, click filter 1 again, set this to a negative 84 actually, and make the destination oscillator 2's position. Go again, filter 1 in the third source section here, set it to 78, and make it go to oscillator 3's frequency modulation amount. So then we'll start essentially modulating the characteristics of each oscillator. Next, in the fourth line, take the mod envelope and set it to 69, and set the destination to filter 1's frequency. And then take the other mod envelope here, so add another line, and then set it to 26, hold shift, and then set the filter 2 resonance to about, or set it to filter 2 resonance, sorry. Perfect. Now let's take a listen to it with all these different modulated effects. As you can hear, it's drastically changed its tone and it sounds pretty cool. Now, this is pretty much done at this point. If you're ready to go, you can take this and do what you want with it, but I do want to show you guys essentially two more things before we're done with this for today. The first thing is I'd like I don't want you to do this, but you can, is create another Thor, and this will act as a subtone, so it will just be a simple sine wave with an analog oscillator, and set the octave to about 3. Open the filter frequency in the low pass all the way up, and make sure to take down all the envelope amount and everything here. Set the amp envelope's decay and sustain all the way up, and make sure the release is about 256 and the attack's about 17.4 milliseconds. The filter envelope really doesn't matter, it's just again to have a nice tone underneath. And so if we took a listen now, you can hear that it is a lot fatter in the lower end, so you can start making cool bass sounds. So the other thing, and then again, this is completely optional, is to create a reverb on the comb filtered section, not the bass section. You can if you want, but for this tutorial, I just want to show you what to do with a reverb on the comb filter here. So if you just set the dry wet to about 50, 52 even, set the decay to about maybe 20. Actually, set the dry wet to about 30, 36. And dampen it out, so make the high frequency damp about 105. And now if you take a listen, it'll sound a lot wetter. And that's it, guys. That is it. I just wanted to show you guys how to make that type of comb filtered bass sound. Please leave me any comments or concerns, and tell me what what you did with this sound or anything like that, and I'll definitely take a look and take a listen. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and watching, and hope you learned something. And I'm a student just as much as you are, so please let me know what I can do better on. Thanks so much, guys. See ya.